Are we at the new normal for rates? Let's talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's up, Dreammakers? Welcome back to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and what you should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of mortgage and real estate news. It's Today in Mortgage. Rich, back with us again. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Michael. Thank you.
Hey, good to hear, Rich. So we're talking about rates today. Obviously, we talk about rates a lot, but we're looking at this in the perspective of, are we kind of in this new normal? 2025 isn't looking like we're going to have a lot of rate shakeups from the Fed. We've got an article that we're looking at from Housing Wire. It says mortgage rate volatility has slowed, but a big decline in 2025 is unlikely. So, Rich, I teed that up for you. Tell me a little bit about what's in this article, what we're talking about today.
Well, to summarize this article, it's basically saying expect about the same throughout the year. We're going to have a little up and down. We're not talking about a big move in rate. Maybe one day to the next, you might be able to get a different price for that same rate. So 7% one day may cost you a half a point discount. The next day it may be a quarter point discount. So, the one thing I read this article and I said, oh man, that really stinks that we're not going to see 5.9% this year. But the other side is at least we're not going to see 8%. So those are the things that I look at is stability. I want stable rates. I mean, if you look at the history of rates, we're at where we have been on average over the last 30 years today. So it's just a luxury once sample becomes a necessity, right? I mean, a lot of people got below 3% during COVID. That is not the normal. The normal is where we are today over the last 30 years. So people just need to put things into perspective. It seems high, but it's not over the long term. Now, our average sales price is just below 400,000, which 30 years ago, that was clearly a lot different. We're making a little bit more money as a workforce today, but not enough to keep up with the, acceleration in home prices. So there's that struggle also. But I just look at this and I see, okay, rates are going to be, in the sixes all year, likely the high sixes. So if you qualify, move on it. Move on it because with this home price acceleration, you just need to land the plane, buy the home today. That is the permanent piece of the purchase, which is your permanent or your purchase price. The rate is temporary.
Rich, you've been in the industry a long time. Has there been other periods in the past where we've had kind of this extended flat rate like we've had maybe over the past year or so?
Well, I mean, in 2018, we were in the sixes, not even that long ago. It's just that our minds are warped a little bit because we saw such low interest rates during that COVID period. We forget about just 2018, we were in the sixes. So it's not that long ago. And so here we are again today. We're in the sixes. We're in the very, very, very high sixes, but we're down from, the mid sevens this time 40 days ago. So, we're making a slow, steady progress to normal. That's where we're going, which is a positive thing, Michael.
I asked that question because I know that these rates affect consumers and borrowers out there looking to get into a home. It's also affecting mortgage and real estate professionals because there's this hope and this I'm looking to this future where I'm going to have these lower rates to offer. My business is going to do better. Rich, what is the right perspective of mortgage and real estate professionals right now when we look to the next 6, 9, 12 months of flat rates?
Well, I mean, it's time to gear up. It's time to educate yourself in the market and what's available to you today. Whether you're a real estate agent or a loan officer in today's market, this is education time. Not just educating yourself, but also educating your client on what's available and where things are going. Learn about all the DPA, down payment assistance programs. Learn about all the grants in your city, state, county. Learn about all of those so that there's a leg up for a lot of people, but oftentimes they just don't know about it. You have to have a real estate agent that's on his or her game, an LO that's on his or her game that can really advise the client on what's the best way to get into a property today at where interest rates are.
What we're seeing is that consumers don't want to work with a part-time, half in real estate agent or loan officer right now. And so we need to be people that are not half in, half committed agents and officers right now. We need to be all in, Rich. And so, how can we do that in a way that really benefits us and benefits our customers?
Well, listen, Michael, people who really invest their time in being the mortgage professional of your community, those are the people, those are career people. The career people are digging, they're grinding, they're looking for opportunity, they're capturing ground, and that's what we're focused on right now because the hard work we're doing today, the results will show next year. Maybe they'll even show later this year and they can show up right away. But you got to get out and grind and get it done.
Rich, you talked about career people. If I'm out there and I'm in the industry, maybe 2024 was tough and I'm recommitting in 2025, is it still possible to make a career as a mortgage professional and succeed?
100%. You just got to put in the work. You put in the work. I mean, there's been studies showing that you put 90 minutes of your day, 90 minutes of a 1,440-minute day, you're going to be better than most in this industry. So if you just reduce it down to the ridiculous, 90 out of 1,440 minutes, that will generate and make a great career for you in this industry. Is same on the real estate side, but you got to put the work in. And right now, the work, it feels harder because you don't see an instant outcome. The outcomes come later. And so you just got to have patience, you got to have grit, and you got to have persistence to get out there and get it done.
Rich, having the hard work and the grit is super important, but there's one other thing that's really important to have, and that is the good team behind you. Rich, I know you talk about it a lot. Network funding is a great place to find that team that pushes you to greatness. Tell me a little bit about that and what you're doing right now to get the word out.
Well, one, we keep it simple at Network Funding. We're a pretty linear company. We don't have layers of management. So we got to keep things simple and consistent. Now, what we focus on is appreciation. We appreciate everyone we work with, our partners, our clients. We focus on communication with our people, making sure that they understand what's happening in the industry, what products are available to them. We teach them how to communicate to their partners and their clients. And then we promote team because without team, you can't do anything alone in this industry. You have to rely on so many pieces of our industry to be successful. And promoting team is very important to us at Network Funding. So, Michael, if there's an LO out there that's thinking, man, my company's not talking to me, I don't feel heard, like I feel small at this big lender, they need to reach out to Network Funding to see what it's like to work in an environment where you're heard and that you get to sit down and make a call to the top of the leadership and maybe make some recommendations on how Network Funding can be better. We're not perfect. Every new employee that we add makes us a better company. Not just their production, their character, their personality, their integrity. Those things are all so important to us, and that's how we grow. We don't want to be huge. We want to be great. You don't need to be giant to be great.
Rich, we just got back from President's Club. One of the cool things there was having our top producers get to speak into some of our underwriters, processors, closers, and people in those departments and say, thank you so much for all the hard work you're doing. We couldn't do it without you. And so you're highlighting that team, and that was highlighted there at our President's Club as well. Such a really cool picture of how this should work together. And you know what, like he said, you can be great even in a tough economy, even in a tough industry right now. So, Rich, thanks for that word. Any other things you want to say about rate looking forward into 2025, the rest of the year?
Yeah. Hey, the one thing I will say about rate in our roundtable in previous years, rates discussed. How many times was rate brought up with all of our production people this year? They didn't even say anything about rate because they understand they can't control rates. They can control what they do on a day-to-day basis, how they inspire and influence their referral partners and encourage their buyers and borrowers to just get into the best product today. So that's what we're focused on.
Yeah, there's still room to be great and to provide great service to your customers. So that's what we're looking at here. Rich, thanks for leading the charge on that and always focusing us in on what we can do better to be a better company and to be better in our jobs. Hey, thanks everyone out there for watching, listening. We appreciate you. If you like this, share it, subscribe, and give us a comment. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.